Hi, so we're going to have a quick look at the clam exercise and how we can progress it and get a little bit more from this exercise than we might normally do. There's very standard clam exercises which we'll be used to, but unless we progress this exercise, we're not really going to get the most out of it that we could. So I'm going to do it in side lying. You can also do standing clam exercises. I'm going to come into side lying and show you a couple of arm options to begin with. So I can be lying down, supported by my arm, and I'm going to pop a little block for my spinal alignment between my arm and my ear, and that would be my sort of level 1 position. Knees are bent up towards the edge of the mat, and I've got a nice line then from my shoulder joint there through my hips all the way through to my ankles there. So there's a nice alignment there with a little tuck through my tailbone so I'm in neutral and my kneecaps are lined up. So there's some points of reference as to whether we're in position or not when we're in this position. Everything facing forwards, this top hip helping to keep the kneecaps lined up. And I want a little gap here. I want to be able to put this hand between my lower waist and the mat, just about squidge it through, which is going to help with our positioning here. That means the hips are lined up, stacked on top of each other, and that I've got engagement through my core here. So I pull in my lower waist, engage my core, and that gives me the ability to keep this little space here and my hips stacked. So you can also be up on your elbow if you want to work up on your elbow. In clam, it's a slightly more challenging position, and again, same thing applies. I want to be not here, but I'm going to lift and engage through my core and keep my spine aligned and align all the way through to the head, through to the crown of the head. So different positions depending on your challenge level. We're going to come down onto the floor here, and clam that we're very familiar with, knees are bent, we open up and then we push back down. So we open up into the hip joint here, exhale, and then we inhale and push back down, imagining there's some resistance through the air. So this is a position I see people doing this a lot. You can make it very simple, and that's not really doing much. It might be moving into the hip joint a little bit, but nothing much more. So let's think about keeping this little engagement through the core, opening up and maintaining that rather than letting the lower waist collapse here. Keep that lift and engagement. Keep the hip here lengthened away, push it away, and that helps. And then think about keeping the hips facing forwards, and then close back down, pushing against the air. So we open up and then we close back down. You can also add a little challenge by taking that top arm away and having to maintain it. Other things we can do to progress this movement to get a little bit more is simply float the feet up. And again, when we float the feet up, this waist wants to collapse onto the floor here. So again, put your hand there, lift, lengthen that top hip away, and then we're into clam here. Maintaining no tension through the upper body, squeezing through the bottom muscles and the hip and the thigh muscles to hold that. And if you want to progress further from here, look straight ahead, maintain, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little space here, open, lengthen, toes to toes, and back down. Open, extend, toes to toes, and close back down. So you start to get a little bit more going on, a little bit more to control, but you want to keep this spacing here, as you open, extend, toes to toes, and close. So you can progress and work to different intensities quite easily, but the things to remember are your alignment, spine aligned, and you're in neutral through your hips and pelvis, and this engagement through the core means that you can keep your spine aligned and we're not collapsing here into the position, collapsing into the floor. Slide this top hip away, slide it away, and get and maintain that nice supported position for you. Tension out of the shoulders, everything happening through this powerhouse of our core. Enjoy.